Welcome back to the Growl Podcast, everybody. I am the Lady Lioness, your host, and I'm here with my co-host, Nicholas Tanek from the Your Kinky Friends podcast. Hi, Nick.
Hello. How are you?
How are we feeling tonight?
I'm well, very well. Thank you for asking.
We have an exciting show.
We
We usually do, but we have somebody very special. Yeah, somebody very special coming on the show. So, about the Growl Podcast, each week we hunt down the topics that you crave and the people that you want to hear from. And we go live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we explore that inner growl and that undeniable fire that all of us carry within us. And it drives us to do what it is that we do. What I'd love for everybody, all our listeners, to do right now is to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you always know when we're live and always know when we're releasing a new video. Stay up to date with us and share it with your friends. If you like what we're saying, please share it. Before we begin, the topics that we discuss, is a little disclaimer, the topics we discuss are adult in nature. So it's really meant, this podcast is really meant for the 18 plus community. We're consenting adults, and everything that we talk about here is from a place of safety, sanity, and always, above all else, with consent. So our show tonight is called Behind the Mic. And we're talking to LadyRed of Interview My Kink podcast. Awesome woman. We're talking to her about leather, power, and podcasting. We want to get down and dirty with some of the stuff that she does so well. She's also an active member of the leather community, and she brings her deep insights and her powerful energy. It's palpable. I just spoke to her just for briefly before the show, and there's a presence about her that is, it's magnetic, and it's certainly undeniable. So I'm absolutely impressed. So LadyRed, she's also one of your past guests.
Oh yes, I discovered her on the internet. I think it was Facebook or something like that. And it wasn't in the usual circles that I that I find people, I find guests and stuff like that. And I'm at a point where I don't chase after guests these days. But if someone intrigues me, I'm going to reach out to them. And she intrigued me. She has a new podcast. Yes. Oh my God. It was like her first or second episode or something like that. So, I don't know. I just, me, I love people with that fire in them. And I love, especially in the kink community, I want to see projects evolve. I want to see people doing their thing. I want to do anything I can to help. I want to serve, right? I serve the kink community. I serve it well. So, yeah, I needed to get her on my show. And since then we became friends. She's been on a bunch of shows. I've been on hers. She's on multiple shows of mine. We talk off camera, and yeah, she's awesome. And I think everybody should listen to her show because she's doing it, and she's bringing interesting guests. She's bringing something original to the community, to the kink podcasting. She's a voice that not only I think should be heard, that I'm honored to help people hear it. So yeah, let's do this.
Same here. All right, we're going to bring her on, and for everybody, her links are in the show notes. So please scroll down, and I've got ways to contact her. Hello, LadyRed.
Hi. How are y'all doing?
Doing great. How are you?
You're here.
I'm good. Thanks for asking. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're so happy to have you. All right. So I want to just get into asking you some questions about your podcast, because, I mean, as we know, podcasting takes a lot of energy and creative juices and a lot of time. So congratulations, by the way, on Interview My Kink. You've got a number of really cool episodes. Some of the topics and demos and stuff that you cover and educational material that you cover is really an asset to the community here. So congratulations on that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
What brought you to podcasting originally?
Okay, so it's kind of a short story, but a long story. Me and my boyfriend, we started in the community, the BDSM community, and we were attending a local dungeon. They had the dungeon once a month. It was the most amazing thing ever. And so after maybe a year or two, they decided to take a little break. And when they decided to take a break, we wanted to go, venture out into other people's dungeons, other people's conferences, and it started getting costly. It started getting to the point where you got to pay. Every time I went somewhere, I had to get a new outfit. Every time I met someone new, it was like the conversation stopped there. I wanted to meet people and bring them into a circle where if other people wanted to meet these people, they can meet them as well. So I was like, well, let me create a platform so everyone don't have to pay all these crazy amounts to travel all over the world, or even the people who don't know where to start. I wanted to make something where if you're like, I saw this on TV and I wonder, what it's about. Well, guess what? Now you have a place where you can learn more about it and meet people who are into what you might have not known as many people are into, so.
And all from the privacy of your own home. You bring it to them. Nobody has to go anywhere. That's the beauty of this. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's a lot of people, because I've met a lot of educators and they want to share their experience as well. So it's been so amazing, the wonderful response I've gotten from them as well, because like I've had a few people who said, okay, maybe it's not for me, but the majority of the people that I asked, they're excited to, share their knowledge. So
yeah, I find that too. Everybody's pretty excited to come on and chat about, their journeys and what they bring to the community.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm very interested in your journey. You have, and I've seen it just from the beginning, from when we started talking on how the quality of your show, the way it's presented, the way it's promoted, everything, that's what the beauty of the art of podcasting. How I'm seeing the evolution. People make mistakes. People say the wrong thing sometimes, and then you correct. And the journalism of it is seeing the evolution of people, which is beautiful. Now, last time we talked, right? You mentioned that you wanted to be the Oprah of kink interviews, sitting down with people, hearing real stories. Now that Interview with My Kink has evolved, like we were talking about, right? How has your vision evolved? And I got a second part question too. So first, how has your vision evolved? And also, what was that one moment where you're like, because you're in the can, you got a bunch of episodes in the can, you got the fire, you got the momentum going, right?
Yeah.
Did you have a moment where you're like, this is why I did this? This is why I started this.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna answer the first question. So when I said I wanted to be Oprah of kink, that for some reason it stood out to me because when she started, with other people around, but like she brought a different kind of vibe to, what she was doing. I wanted to be not necessarily professional and boring, but where, people are relaxed and they can say what they want to say, but not raunchy, where it's like disgusting, where people don't even want to hear what they have to say. I want it to be something that everyone wants to tune into, all ages, well, 18 and over, of course. I want it to be where, people are seeing that regular people are out there, so it wasn't like, I mean, of course I'll have people on my show who wearing masks or whatever, but then I also want them to see that, there's normal people who walk around just like you and me, and they got that, that kink in them.
Do you feel now that, because you have people, I mean, I have this kind of issue too, where I started having people unmasked. I was unmasked. They were unmasked, proud of it. And then when someone came in masked, I was a little kind of hesitant. I was like, oh, maybe it's not gonna, but soon I learned that it's not about them. It's like we're all wearing masks. If you think about it, right? We're all wearing masks. So it's the people. And that's what this is all about, right? The people.
As of today, I haven't had anyone, but I have 3 people who will be coming on who said they wish to either have their faces blurred or audio or a mask. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. That is great. We can have a regular conversation just like normal people, and it's not going to be a distraction for me.
It looks cool, right? It leaves a lot up to the imagination. So just as a presentation, standpoint, come on. It's great. It makes you wonder what's behind it.
Exactly. And then it also, like you said, it shows that fun side because, okay, they're normal out there somehow, but like after after seeing this, you're like, okay, what
Oh
do
my
they have
God.
going on?
I'm gonna look everybody I looked at, like when I'm at the dungeon next time, I'm gonna just think, they're normal out there. So
I love that you say that though. That's part of what I, when I approach this, and part of what brings what I bring. What
he's normal outside.
Exactly.
But-
We all have lives.
yes, we're all people. It's like we're not just some like nebula of fantasy behind a computer screen. Like we're people, we have jobs, we have families, we have things that we do, and that's something that I think gets lost sometimes because people get carried away in the fantasy. But
Yeah.
you built a safe space where people are accepted and seen in your podcast, and that is definitely formidable for sure. What would you say? What would you say? Something that stuck with you because it was so real or impactful that you've heard on your podcast or gotten from a guest or that has happened?
It could be the answer to the previous question too, which wasn't answered yet. Why you realize why are you doing this? Or that's pretty much the same thing if you think about it.
Yeah. Well, so there's a magazine that's called Blick. It's called Black Leather in Color, and it's history behind that leather magazine. I've had a few of my guests who have been featured in it. I've had a few of my guests who have, helped, with the production of it. And when I speak to those people, it shows, it helps me realize that I'm educating people out there to find new things, because people might not know about it. So like now they know to search this word, and now they know, okay, there's people like this out there. So that right there really inspired me because it's giving people a chance to, see other topics, Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
That is wonderful. It's so cool. And the more you do this, right? The more you do this, the people that you've looked up to and respected, and they seem so out of touch, out of reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They become friends. They really become your friends, and it's a beautiful medium that we're in. It really is.
Yeah. Some of the people I've been keeping in touch with, it's not just on the episode.
Yeah.
After we branch out, and we might just chat a little bit, or like we talk. Oh, are you going to be at this conference? Oh yeah, make sure you come say hi to me. So I'm making friends along the way as well.
Now you're getting people promoting, like wanting, hey, can you promote my secret tickle torture dungeon? No, I'm all right. I don't need it.
Well, not like that yet, but I am getting people who I am helping them bring attention to their social media as well. So, we're like scratching each other's back,
I've gotten paid by financial doms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like advertising, free advertising for them. So they're like, okay, let me help you out.
Give them a dime.
Exactly. So now now people know about them and people know where to look.
No one ever paid to get on the show. I have to say that. No one ever. But I've written articles for financial doms. I've literally written articles for other places about their financial dom systems and all that stuff like that. And the gigs that you can get from podcasting, from what you're doing, is amazing. And I remember someone asked me, he goes, what were you so interested in LadyRed? I go, because I have good taste.
You do.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you do. And, oh, go ahead.
All right. Who's taking this one? Is this you or me? I forget. I messed up the flow. I apologize, Lady Lioness.
It's
we know you like to talk, man.
So we're on your question about booking guests.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
What surprised you the most when how did people respond when they invite you on? I mean, when you invite them on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have had some wonderful responses. My first few episodes, people were excited because they were excited about collaborating. And it was, like I said, helping each other out. They knew it was my first few episodes. So they were like, yeah, we're established already, but we can help you out. You help us out. So it started out real good. I'd say honestly, maybe not that many people have rejected me. So that's what's been really good. It's been a lot of positive feedback, and people who know that I'm not going to bring them on the show to try to embarrass them or ask crazy questions that is like, why are you even thinking about that? I like I said, I want to bring attention to something positive. So if you come on my show, it's not necessarily glorifying it, but it's, showing the beauty in what we do,
highlighting the craft, honoring their skill and their talent. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I desperately cling to sometimes. It's very easy to just go in a direction, and there's so much hurtful stuff out there too. It's so easy to cause drama, to cause problems and stuff like that. I don't want to. It's like the goal of this is to get people together.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So, along the lines of inviting guests, has there ever been a time where you invited a guest and you didn't think that they were going to say yes, and you were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I actually got this person"?
There actually has been a couple. Let's see. I'm not necessarily going to say their names. I want people to just watch and see. But I've had a few title holders who I was like, okay, yeah, they were, international title holders, or I've had people on there who have, been host of, huge conferences, so those people who are actually upfront leading a lot of things, I am a little like starstruck, because I'm like, oh wow, they're standing in front of people, showing them the way, and they're taking time out to sit down and talk to little old me.
Little old me. Oh,
so I'm not, because I'm nobody. I mean, I'm somebody, but I'm starting out. What I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what you're bringing is of value at whatever stage of the game you're in, and the fact that you're honoring people's and everybody has a journey. Like there's the journey of 1,000 steps begins with your first one, right? And everybody remembers their first step. So I think that that goes a long way, and you're highlighting their accomplishments and wanting to showcase all the the hard work, because a lot of that, like the title holder is like, you have to take the lifestyle deep into your soul in order to express it at such a level. And you deserve the accolades at that point.
They do. And when they sit down and they tell me, and people who've been in the lifestyle for 30 years plus, or, people who, walk the walk, like, it's like they weren't walking with Martin Luther King, but it's like they were there when he was there, so it's like they were pushing for the rights of, these people living this way while, it was historical things going on in the world, so.
You're so right. And showcasing that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that you hold space for them to tell their stories, and to share their journeys, and express their talents and their demos, and just be a good contribution, good stewards to the kink community. Do you feel sometimes a sense of responsibility when you go into the interview to sort of protect the integrity of the BDSM practices that you're highlighting in your shows, or the people that you're bringing on your shows? Because some kink practices can get a little shade from time to time. But do you feel like it's your job as the host to control the ethical narrative surrounding your show topics? Do you ever feel that sense of responsibility?
I've been pretty fortunate to have guests who are able to explain themselves in a way where you want to learn more from them. I haven't had a topic that came up where someone is a part of it and it's questionable. Everyone who I've interviewed so far has been someone who the community respects. Everyone respects what they do. So, but if I had to, I definitely would, because I want people to see that it's nothing to be ashamed of. So, but I've been pretty fortunate to have guests who are able to, talk about their topic and, be very respectful in the way they do it, so it's no question about, what's going on. So, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. When I started this, I just wanted to interview everybody. So I wanted to kind of everybody, but let everybody decide for themselves. And then eventually you're like, yeah, I don't think I want to put that out.
Yeah, you know what? You are right. It has been a couple of people who I was like, oh yeah. And then I asked them, and then like after I think about it, I just didn't get back with them, or not in a rude way, but it was like, well, we weren't definite about something, but maybe their topic isn't really what I'm wanting to.
What people say and admit to specifically. Yeah. I snitch on people all the time, just on podcast,
Yeah.
Crazy. And wondering, I'm like, is this, I have to say many times, it's like, we don't condone anything illegal. We don't do, like, they did this a long time ago. Statute of limitations and stuff like that. What about people wanting to saying the wrong things? They want to edit it out. Do you ever get that issue?
I have not had that issue, but one thing that I have had happen is there was a person who had an offense happen in the community years ago. And I was just kind of warned about having that person on my show.
Yes.
And I ended up not having that person, but it was like, I was interested in getting that person on my show, and I just didn't know their history.
And you want to know, you're a journalist now. You're a journalist now, so you want to know the story, right?
You want to know the details.
Yeah, exactly. And I did a little research before asking them to be on the show, and I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't ask them, because even if that happened 20 years ago, it still might pop up in conversation where people might be like, well, why is she having them on the show when they did this terrible thing,
All right. So the next question, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I never told anybody this. Okay. This is about lessons. What's one thing that you've learned about podcasting that you wish you knew when you were still thinking about hitting the record button for the first time? I'll tell you mine. All right.
Yeah. Tell me.
Incredibly embarrassing.
Okay. All
right. Keep in mind, I'm very ill. At the time I was drinking a lot, Yeah. I was very ill, and so I went live without knowing. So I did my first interview. It was supposed to be just like a thing, and it went live. And no one knew me. I didn't promote it as an interview or anything like that. No one was able, but certain people just came up and started watching. Everyone was kind of cool. No one was like, because I remember it was Morgan Sterling, right? Famous comic. That way, from this point, from that day forward, I was like, oh, I guess we're a live show.
So that's how you went live. That's how you decided to start going live.
Decided to go live. So the artistic obstruction of it is like, I got to deal with what I have.
Yeah.
And I mean, there you go. So I don't know if I would make that mistake. I don't know if I would do that again. I would probably want a full form, edited, well produced show, but that's not me, right? So what have you learned? What's one thing, like, now you know it, but before you didn't? One thing you learned about podcasting that you wish you knew?
I guess not to take my guests questioning me personal, because sometimes people don't know what to expect. I have some people who are just like, okay, I'll just be on the show. But then I have some people who want to have a Zoom, who want to ask me questions, who want to lay out how they want the show to go. I'm cool with that. But at first I was like, well, are they like questioning how I do things? Are they questioning how I run my podcast? Are they questioning, whether it's going to be a good show? So I guess not to take people wanting to just make sure they're comfortable, don't take that personal, because that's just their way of, getting a feel for me, even though I'm like, well, you can just watch a couple of episodes, but then they want to, actually talk to me before they talk to me. And I'm like, that's cool. We can sit down and talk, you get to know all about me and make you feel real. Huh?
Get better that way. The more I want it. First, my show is Your Kinky Friends. It's called Your Kinky Friends for a reason. It's not called Your Nick. It's called Your Kinky Friends. So I want a friendship. Like we know each other. That's.
And it's two-way streets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. It can be, it's not just a give. It's a give and take. And sometimes the dialogue, like I've experienced that also with, one of the guests. And that was totally fine, because most of the time has nothing to do with it's nerves, or it's just the unknown, and has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with making my guests comfortable and being able to allow them to shine in the best possible way, which is what you're about. So I mean, very good on you for never taking that personally.
Just wait though. There's going to be a guest. The more you do it, it's inevitable. There's going to be a guest who's going to slip up and say something. They're going to say a name or an address, and they're like, "Oh, I'm afraid that that's probably going to happen." And unfortunately, I've had guests who are awesome, incredible, and I can't mention their names. They had to drop out of the lifestyle, so that means they got to scrub the internet. That means all of this beautiful content gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I started out, I was doing totally live episodes. I still do live episodes, but like I'll go back and I'll edit them, and if they want me to take something out, I'll do that, and then I'll, take down the live one, and we'll just have a fresh start. If you want something out of it, or I guess, but if they totally got to get out the lifestyle, then that's something different. But if they just don't want to be seen saying someone's name or seen doing something, then I can change that up a little bit, and the
edit feature is a beautiful thing.
It is. I'm not fabricating anything. I'm not putting words in people's mouth. I'm just touching it up a little bit. And
that's why, like, for example, my show is really it's I don't edit anything. I edited like 4 shows in my whole life, maybe 5. Yeah, because I don't want anybody to say you represented me the wrong way. I'm like, no, this is you. Yeah. This is who you are. You said this. You look this way. You act this way.
True.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to take a spin through the chat comments, because we have a couple of people tuning in. We've got, hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Bill's been watching our episodes, and he's been giving me some really nice feedback, and I'm really grateful. Yeah. And then here comes Stan. Hi, Stan. He says, Stan says, "Evening, everyone, and welcome back, LadyRed." So Stan does all of our.
Was on my first one, because I remember him.
Yeah,
Stan does all of our artwork, and we're grateful for him.
He really is essential. And when my life was falling apart, he was. If it wasn't for him, Your Kinky Friends, like, visually wouldn't exist. So he's essential. He's definitely, I love Stan. I can't talk highly enough.
Yeah. And here we come, Sunshine. Hello, beautiful Sunshine. She says, "Lovely to see you again, LadyRed. Welcome back. You look very beautiful as always, and love your nails. I also love your nails."
Hi, Sunshine. Yeah.
And then Andy. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being on here. I mean, it's nice when people tune in. I that's the one thing I love about the live, when people are chatting in the chat box, even if it's just saying hi, it's still showing support.
Yeah, supports engagement. We love it. We love
every little counts, people.
Yeah,
it's true. All right, so I'm going to shift gears a little bit. We heard about your podcasting journey. I want to sort of look inward a little bit for you and ask you about your experience. So what I want to do is really sink my teeth into the heart of something that really doesn't get acknowledged nearly enough, and that's the BIPOC experience within kink communities. So that means, I just want to know your, what is it like to navigate an environment or a community that wasn't originally built to support people of color? Tell us about that.
I've been pretty fortunate not to have any hiccups. As I stated before when I was on the show, I've went to environments where I might have been the only one who looked like me, but I didn't allow it to make me so uncomfortable where I couldn't enjoy myself. I found someone who I could relate with, and someone who made me feel comfortable, or us, because usually my boyfriend and I, we go together. So it's not it's not really a big factor to me, but I know it is something that needs to be addressed, because I've had people on my show who are activists for it, who have been in situations where they had to make a stand because it hurt them somehow. I've just been pretty fortunate where it hasn't affected me personally to the point where I don't want to be in the community. But I've been, also been fortunate to find a tribe of people who are BIPOC and, who are like, I have a munch that I attend regularly, and it's geared towards BIPOC, or I have
Beautiful
groups on Facebook who, I meet people who are, BIPOC as well. So, I search for those people, and I, make relationships,
And that's beautiful, because in a community that is really truly designed or intended to be inclusive, something like skin color is just like, come on,
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. You would think that. I mean, but some people it still stands out. You just be surprised sometimes. But I don't know. I haven't had any issues.
Thank goodness. Good for you.
What are some small things that can make spaces feel more welcoming?
Well, when I go to dungeons and they have music that is a little bit variety, not saying that I don't listen to all types, but music that I can kind of bob my head to a little bit, or I can catch a beat to, because I mean, there's dungeon music, but then there's also like different types of dungeon music. So
absolutely,
yeah,
it's not all vampire music.
No, sometimes you want a little two-step while you're flogging.
Exactly.
Get you a little two-step. It's fine.
Shout out to Goddess Arroya, who did the theme song, also known as Oracle Lady J. Yeah, she calls it. She was like, I love it. But like, there's more to life than vampire music.
Yeah,
true.
Exactly. Or just I guess the music is the main thing, or the way things are set up in there. To just kind of make it comfortable for everyone. It just being more inviting, and making
the Mischief Manor's like that. I got to get you down there, LadyRed. They'd love you.
Where?
At Mischief Manor in New Jersey. That's my
okay.
People. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Shari and Catnip and all that. They are very, very let's say inclusive, and they celebrate. Oh my God, extremely diverse. It's beautiful. Like, it brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah, it is beautiful when you can see like a rainbow of people. It is nice. Yeah.
All right. So now let me ask you this: have you ever had to decide between staying authentically you and fitting in? Was there ever an instance where that has been something you've been faced with?
I can't say I've been faced with that. Are you talking about within the community, or like, because I haven't had that issue yet.
I'm so glad you don't have an answer to that question. That is beautiful in and of itself. I love that.
I wish I could answer. Well, I'm glad I don't answer differently, but I haven't had an issue where I had to try to fit in, because I do a lot of vetting and research before I even go to certain places to make
Very
sure,
smart.
Make sure I'm not going to be stepping into something, like where we live. There's I don't want to name anything, but like there's event that I wanted to go to, and I didn't do my proper vetting, and my boyfriend, he was like, I don't know if we want to go to that side of the town. So it was like you just gotta like kind of make sure you check the surroundings before you even step into that situation. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love diversity, and that's what's great about the manor. No, seriously, that's what's great about the manor. I hear different cultures and different stories. I grew up in Edison, New Jersey, so we're Edison. I don't know if you know anything about Jersey, but it's like it's very condensed and compact. Every single race, everything you could go down the street, and it's like every culture. There's a different restaurant for it. It's beautiful, right? Except that it's not like city. It's not incredibly urban. It's not incredibly rural. It's very middle class.
okay.
So, I mean, all my life, I mean, I'm a white man.
Yeah.
White Edison. I dated pretty much every race I could think of. So let me ask you this: are there any truths about race in kink, in the kink community, that people often avoid because it's uncomfortable? For example, perfect example. I have three, I don't want to name their names. I have three black friends who constantly feel fetishized by white people because simply because they're black. You know what I mean? You run into that. How does that make you feel? Is that something, how do we address that?
I've heard people say that. I haven't had an issue with a fetish yet. I've had people tell me they like my hair and attempt to touch my hair in environments. And I'm like, I don't know where your hands have been. Do not try to touch my hair. Especially in a dungeon or like somewhere where I know you've been doing stuff that I don't know when you wash your hands. So
right.
Yeah. But
just don't touch people's hair.
Just don't touch anybody without consent. I mean, that's, nobody's walking up to me going, I have not experienced that. Yeah.
They all want you, though.
Yeah. But when you say truth about race in kink and you make that example,
example. Is there something? Is there a truth that people often avoid because it's uncomfortable, but you refuse to ignore it?
No, I can't think of one. No, maybe, and I don't even know if. No, that's not one. No, I can't think of one. Race wise, no.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Okay.
All right. So let's discuss race play. It's an edgier kink. It's something that people refuse to engage in because it's got a very taboo-ness to it. What do you wish people understood about the focus on skin color in this way as a fetish? Like, if there's something that you could say, I wish you understood how this processes for someone of color, what would that be?
Well, I wish people understood that, because I'm not saying there's been a hard time for us to get into this community, but because there's not too many of us that are like just out there like that, I guess I'm not really sure how to answer that one. But I know that race play, in my opinion, is something that could be pretty dangerous, in my opinion, because how could you do that where it's addressing everyone's needs in a way that you're able to come out feeling relieved or positive? You kind of have to take a step back to the beginning, and in the beginning, women like me weren't necessarily being treated right. You know what I'm saying? They've always loved us, but it's like they still, in the beginning, we weren't treated as good. So race play is something that I don't see how people. Well, I'm not going to shame anyone for their thing, but it's just not something that I would even really speak on.
So when I thought about this question, and I don't know that it completely is equal or congruent, but when I thought about this question and I was coming up with it, for me, the goal when I play with somebody is always to go that all parties involved go in whole and they come out whole. right?
Mhm.
We're all going in safe. We're all coming out safe. And that's, whatever we got to do to make sure that, thread of safety, consent, and, being risk aware and what have you is maintained. So, but in education, like we're discussing right now, race play, that's something that's a sensitive topic for people. Also, one other example is rape play, right? I mean, rape play for somebody who has issue with that topic would not be a good, a good party to exercise that with. So I think that that's sort of how I know it's not congruent, but as far as edgy kinks go, to make sure that you are engaging in something, and also to not kink shame, but engaging in something in a positive, like you said, I'm echoing what you said, in a positive way is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And and to be honest with you, I haven't really had negative energy about my race, but I've had negative energy about my femininity and
Mm.
the roles that I want to be in the community. Because I'm a switch, but I enjoy topping, I enjoy dom leaning. So, sometimes my femininity is looked at as, oh, you're too soft, but I'm not too soft. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Mhm.
thing. It's two sides of me. So what they see, just like, when you say about, the BIPOC, what they see, they might, think it's that way. But like with me, you see a feminine woman, but I'm not, soft, so
Mhm.
yeah,
I don't think you're soft. You could dom me anytime in public. I don't think you're soft at all. You could show people you're not soft.
exactly. Don't let the looks fool you because
And
you will be surprised.
never mistake kindness for weakness, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. I'm smiling a lot right now, but I know how to turn it off. you know.
Yeah, you have to these days. All right, so in the BDSM community, alternative lifestyle arena, right? It's evolved. Is it evolving to a time where it's being more united and inclusive? Now, I'm not talking about the world. I'm talking about the BDSM community. Do you feel that it's getting more united and inclusive, or do you feel it's stagnant, or do you feel we're de-evolving?
I feel it's 50-50. I've met people who are creating spaces where, we're being more united, but then I'm also meeting people who are creating spaces where it seems like we're being divided as well.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I know we all want to feel comfortable in spaces, but sometimes when you create that space where you're kind of having people feel like an outcast, that could be a negative thing because, now it seems like you're just targeting a certain type of person. You know what I'm saying? So I see it 50-50, in the amount of time that I've been in, within the community. I haven't been around as long as some people, but I've been around enough where I've seen some changes, of which is crazy because it has been some changes being made to some places.
Mm. All right. Well, speaking of changes, what would you like to see more of, or even less of? You pick.
um, I want to see more dominant women. I want to see more women led
Wait,
relationships.
hang on one second. Nick, you're muted. We didn't hear you. No, you're still muted. You have to unmute. I'm sorry, Nick.
I was being silly. I was just like, wouldn't that be wonderful?
It would. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Lady Red. Please.
No, it's good. I know Nick had something to say about that. I want to see people being able to be themselves more. I want to see people who are, just able to walk around. If it's a man who wants to wear a dress, in a environment, let that be his business. I want to see people just, not being ashamed to, explore what they want to explore.
Yes.
So, and as far as less of, it's just people being judgmental, just people side eyeing people because they don't, know what that person is doing. If you don't understand it, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? They understand what they're doing. They're comfortable with it. So, you know, that's
you worded that too. If they don't understand it, because it puts it on them. You don't understand.
Exactly.
You can't process this information.
That's a you problem, honey. That's a you problem.
That's an intellect problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what is one thing you wish more people of any background would do to help make kink spaces feel truly inclusive without it feeling forced? What do you think?
Without it feeling forced, I guess giving people an opportunity to share what they expect, you know, like if I'm attending a conference or a fest, you know, at the end of the year, at the end of the event, you can have like a survey, something where people can share, you know, how they felt about it or things that they want to see more of, you know, so that the next one, if people want to have a BIPOC, you know, round table, or if people want to have, you know, event where it's, you know, littles who are, you know, expressing themselves how they want to express themselves, you know, giving people an opportunity to, you know, tell you, okay, yeah, I want to see more of this, you know.
I love that engagement. Community engagement is one of the most powerful ways to figure things out. I mean, communication. When I think about any issue or anything in general, anything that you're working on trying to accomplish, for me, the first, throw communication at it. Just throw communication at it, because that's really how you solve things.
Yeah. Don't just look at how people are responding. Ask them, and then, you know, kind of gear it so that everyone's comfortable the next go round, or, you know, even during that time, you know.
It was funny. You were saying I like to talk. Talking solves problems. Communication solves problems.
Sure does.
Exactly.
And you know what's also fun? Porn in the woods.
Yeah. What are you talking about, man?
We laughed. Believe it, on the show. I would go through our stuff. Last time we laughed about finding porn in the woods and how the internet changed everything.
Okay.
Porn in the woods as a metaphor, not a metaphor, but it's like, you know, it used to be like finding porn in the woods. The simile of. So what's one old school or unexpected way you still see people discovering kink that makes you smile? What's one way that you still see people discovering kink that makes you smile? Because it's not just they can't go in the woods and find porn anymore. Yeah.
I guess in libraries, you know, it's a lot of books.
I had a lot of fun in libraries.
Exactly. It's books that you would never think, okay, that's pornographic. But then you read it and you're like, the way they describing that, if you close your eyes and picture what is being written, then you can, I don't know, you might please yourself. You know, you might, you know, just
read a book, people. I have it right here. I don't have it. Well, I wrote it in the thing. Read a book. Yeah, a library. Libraries are sexy. Libraries are romantic, right?
Exactly. It's quiet. You can be in your own thoughts. And then next thing you know, you're just you're feeling something that's not really there while you're reading it. So
I used to have a fetish for librarians.
Oh, yeah?
I was such a douchebag writer type. Like when I was going to school, like I'm talking high school. Like, you know, it's like, you know, using the libraries are amazing. There's nooks and crannies, right? You could find. I write about library fun in my book. Yeah.
You found your book, huh?
If I don't support, you know, promote it, who else will? Right, so.
All right. So I want to shift gears a little bit more and talk about leather. Leather is leather is not just a fashion trend or a material to make toys out of. It's not just a look. It's a way of life for many of us, many kinksters. Tell me about tell us about your experience in the leather community. What is that to you when somebody says, you know, when you coin yourself as a leather woman, what does that mean to you?
Well, so my leather journey is still fairly new. I have been leather. I have been in the leather community a little over a year. Well, it's been about 2 years. So with me, it's the camaraderie, it's the respect that when I'm talking to people, they give you a different kind of attention than just normal people. I've been able to sit down with someone who I just met, but then when I talk to them about our experiences, it's like it's kind of common, even though it's a little different. And that's why I say something about me being in the military, because to me, leather is so like it's just like each other, you know. We have values, core values, the way we dress, the way we, you know, uniformity, you know, it's a lifestyle that not everybody is able to be a part of because they might not be able to, you know, have the discipline. So I love it. I just feel like it's a community of good-hearted people.
So you've become a leather woman earlier this year,
Mm.
joined a leather family, and that really clicked with the values you already lived, especially the military background. And
Mhm.
someone who's only seen the shiny boots and the leather gear side, oh, leather. How would you really describe what leather culture actually feels like on the inside? The camaraderie, the organized, and the energy.
I feel like there's a lot of workshops where people are helping people learn things, not just leather, but like I've been to leather conferences where a lot of topics are discussed, but it's like the way the leather people organize it and bring together, it's not like anything else, you know. It's because it's more like they're thinking about every aspect of it, you know. It's it's a part of, you know, being able to connect on a different kind of level. I wish I could explain it better, but you're it's like a family to me, you know. Even though like I might not talk to people every day, like I have a leather sister who I might talk to once a month, but it's like when we talk, you know, it's like we're family, you know. So it's fun, you know. It's
You see it on FetLife, yeah, on the profiles, someone in like in leather family with, you know,
yeah, exactly.
you know, there's peace and there's comfort in family.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've I'm a part of an organization. I've recently joined an organization. It's called Gemini, and it's a leather switch organization. And we basically we're like a family. You know, it's people who are, you know, have something in common, and we meet up and we talk, and you know, it's helping me also expand my people social skills because I am an introvert. So like I'll sit in the house and I won't talk to anyone, but like this right here helps me to, you know, be able to talk to people. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm hearing you say about, you know, leather culture is really rooted in deep connections and a common set of values that people adhere to and operate under. And that's, you know,
yeah,
it really is what family is about.
it is. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah. So what are okay.
Yeah.
What are some aspects of the leather lifestyle that you suggest people or you think people should know before getting involved? Like, what are some important key things that you think somebody who's interested in entering into the leather aspect of power exchange and the BDSM community and lifestyle, what do you think they should know beforehand?
Just know that there are protocols. I've had people who have stated that they've been nervous about going to certain places because they don't know how to act. And it's not like you're going to walk in and someone expects you to, you know, bow to them or anything, but people do, expect, don't go in environments touching everyone. Don't go in environments, categorizing people just because they look a certain way, thinking that they are a certain way. Before you go anywhere, just, always do your research and just conduct yourself in a certain way where it won't offend anyone, So that's, I think just knowing that there are protocols, just knowing that that's one thing about the leather that, it's a little bit more structured,
Yes, and you shared some of those leather values last time you and I spoke. Loyalty, duty, honor, integrity, respect, selfless service. Oh, yeah, I mean, your military background comes into play, but which one of these, loyalty, duty, honor, integrity, respect, service, which one hits you hardest right now in your daily life or in the scene?
Respect, because I expect someone to respect me, and I respect others as well. So it's something that is easy. It's like you don't have to be a butthead all the time. It's easy to just show someone just like some common courtesy. Even if you are the biggest, baddest person in the world, you can still, be respectful. And even respect goes a long way,
Goes a long way.
It makes people feel comfortable, and it can open up doors as well. So respect is the biggest thing to me, showing respect and receiving respect.
Yeah. I mean, I want that to land, because that's sometimes can be in short supply.
Yeah.
So what do you think sets leather power exchange apart from other types of power dynamics? Would you say there's some like identifying or unique characteristics that set leather power exchange apart?
I guess it all goes back to, like I said, the protocols. Power dynamics are going to be power dynamics, but the leather, sometimes it just is something set in stone that's a little bit different than just the normal power dynamic.
More structured.
More structured.
Yeah. LadyRed, I'm going to go off book on this one, but your military background and all the structure, when something is not structured, if something's chaotic, how does it make you feel?
Oh my goodness. It affects everyone. It don't just affect the person, it don't just affect that one person who's messing up. It affects the team. It affects the mission. It could affect the future. I mean, you can't play around with, not doing what's supposed to be done. So that's not even something. Yeah.
Your personality shines in that answer. So I want to go to the next question. Being kinky, but being leather mindset, right? In the community, I start looking at the world differently. I feel like almost enlightened in a way, right? It changes you, how you deal with people, on how you deal with things, everyday life. So in what everyday way has the leather mindset or the leather community changed the way you carry yourself or show up in the kink scene, or just show up anywhere?
I'd say, and it's not necessarily the leather mindset, but it's just that mindset, sitting down and talking to people first. Sometimes getting to know what people are about, having real conversations with people, not thinking, oh, I'm just going to go in and show my kink, because sometimes people might have something that might be something for them. And if you sit down and you talk about it first, then it could be an understanding where both of you are, coming to some kind of agreement on something. If that answers it, if that makes sense. Yeah.
It does. Thank you.
Yeah, it does. All right. So debunk one myth for us about being part of a leather community. What what are common misconceptions? Just pick one that people have about the leather community that you just want to be like, nope, it's not that at all.
Not saying that it's not, but that is majority the gay community. I'm a heterosexual woman, but it's not just the gay community anymore. It's all people, So if you go to a convention or somewhere, everyone's able to be everyone. So it's not just, one type of person when you walk in the room.
Very good.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right. LadyRed, I'm a genie, right? And I grant you wish.
Okay.
Leather family night, right? If you could design, you could design, right? Let's be whimsical, okay?
Okay.
All right, we're being whimsical. If you could design the perfect no pressure, just vibes kink night for your leather family, your close crew, what would be the atmosphere, the music, the main energy? What would it be like?
It would be in a venue that is not too big, but a venue where it's enough space to probably fit like 50 people, with dark lighting, music that isn't too loud. You can have a conversation in the corner if you want to. Music that is also appealing to, everyone, not just a certain type of person. What kind of music?
Any song that any specific friends you want to shout out to be like, they could picture this in their head too. Maybe you could make this happen in real life.
I have a couple of friends, but I mean, I have my leather sister Lace. I have people who are in New York. Well, I've never really been to New York, but people who have dungeons out there where it's like a big studio. It would be the type of music I didn't really think about, but it would be something that's, who would I think of? I don't know. I just know it would be something that you can bob your head to and also catch a beat to if you're flogging, or catch a beat to if you're spanking. So
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah,
love it. All right, so I want to talk about what's that?
That sounds great.
Yeah, music is good for creating the mood, for sure. It's essential. It's in everything. They spend so much money on marketing, to on music and human behavior. So it definitely drives us in certain ways and controls emotion. All right, I want to talk about you as a dom leaning switch.
Yeah.
What is something that you've discovered about balancing those two energies that has surprised you, or maybe made scenes more enjoyable?
Well, as a dom leaning switch, I've realized that I don't have to be stuck in a box. The exciting thing about that is I can be in control of helping someone else discover what they want to discover, but then I can also sit down and have someone help me discover what I need to discover. One of the most enjoyable things about me, about a scene that I've had, is when it was a big guy, and he allowed me to flog him, and he allowed me to actually do the doming part, but he wasn't submissive at all. You know what I'm saying? So it was just the fact of being able to have that ability to top people who people might look at and be like, oh, I can't believe they let somebody do that to them in public.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sure he stood there in his strength, and you got to enjoy that exchange with him. I love that. That sounds beautiful.
It was a beautiful thing. Afterwards, people were like, oh, that was beautiful to watch.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go down into the comments because we have some new people joining us. Let's see. Cool Wise. Hello, my friend. He is a partner of one of my sisters. I'm also part of a leather family. Yeah, Goddess House NJ and Goddess Coco. He's her partner. Actually, Goddess Coco is also here. Hello, my sister.
Hello, y'all.
And
Does
let's
Cool
see.
Wise, is that Tyler the Creator as an avatar?
No, that's him.
Oh, that's it. That's I can't see because it's so small.
He's the handsome devil. And then we've got Sunshine.
Oh, people are, yes, I love Sunshine.
Yeah. We were talking about being judgmental. People are altogether too judgmental. And yes, erotica is great.
Mhm.
I love reading erotica. Yeah.
Right. All right. So I want to I'm going to ask you a question, but I want to also challenge the room a little bit, just like some food for thought for all of our listeners. What is one thing that you think that the BDSM community is celebrating right now that you think we should really be questioning, if anything? And for our listeners at home, please drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to know what everybody's take on that is.
Well, I'm not going to say necessarily celebrating, but people who are doing BDSM acts that are dangerous but without practicing, and they're getting a lot of attention because they're the ones who are doing it in the public, but they don't have much training behind it, you know.
I'm so glad you're saying that, because one of the things that I say all the time is your most popular person isn't always your safest.
Yes, yes, exactly. And I'm all for people, you know, exploring it and becoming more familiar with it, because you have to start somewhere. But
Absolutely.
People who are doing videos or doing things that are so dangerous that a professional isn't even recording themselves doing it yet, those people are the ones that I'm kind of like, don't give them a platform. Don't, you know, let them become more comfortable with what they're doing.
Yeah, I see.
What you laughing at?
I see some, because you're talking about, I see some stuff out there, and as someone who, you know, is worried about his health, I see some things on like just Twitter and Instagram or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, that's really unhealthy.
Yeah. It might look cool. It might be a little, you know, like
the woods. I don't want to mention anyone's name, but like there are people doing stuff in the woods with sticks and like, and you're like, what the? You see some weird stuff on X, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we shouldn't. I mean, of course, bring light to it if you want to, but don't like blow their heads up to the point where it's like, okay, they're gonna try the next most dangerous thing ever, and next thing you know, it'll be on somebody, you know. So.
Yeah. I love that you said that.
Yeah. Nick, you have an example or something?
Yeah, he's giggling over there. What are you giggling about, Nick?
One of the main things is, though, not to be funny, like the toilet coffin. I don't think the toilet coffin is something that people should really. I don't think it's healthy, right?
Yeah,
it's not. I do have a question though about. I was interviewing. I don't want to mention anything. Well, you could see it, find out. One of the taboos that she did not like was the glorification of BBC, big black cock, and you know, the that could be used that could be turned into race play. What was your opinion of the fetishism of black culture in the kink community? Does that affect you? I mean, and what do you think specifically? Should the whole BBC thing, is that something that should be celebrated? Because black is beautiful. I'll say that right now. Black is beautiful. There, you know what I mean? I don't yell anyone's yum either, right? I don't like, you know what I mean? So is that something, when it comes to things that should be, one person on my show, I'm not even mentioning her name, said that should be done away with? What's your opinion?
Well, I mean, I celebrate my Black men, so I don't know, but I guess like glorifying a certain race or like putting down a certain race, because you're like, oh, people be like Asian women are the most whatever, people say things and it's like, why would you say these things, so I don't really know how to answer that. It just it depends on the person mindset. But yeah, as far as something that I would want to get rid of, that's like maybe like Black women have attitudes, or
Dude.
or we are the ones who are with the attitude problems, so. But I've heard that before.
Yeah, generalizations in general are not usually a wise idea.
The leather wheel.
We're doing the wheel. So we usually do a spinning wheel, and we put different things up on it, and they come with little mini prompts for like our guests or the audience. So I'm going to bring up our leather power exchange wheel.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here we are. And I'm going to give it a spin. And depending on what it lands on, I will explain the prompt. And I'm gonna put you to task a little bit there, LadyRed. So let's see. What's our first? Unfiltered. Okay. So what do I mean by unfiltered? So what's something about being a BIPOC kinkster in our community that doesn't get talked about that should?
I guess the history of BIPOC in the community, from what I've seen, it's history on, other races, joining the community, how it started, other, sexualities, genders, but BIPOC, I don't think it's enough, from what I've seen, I don't think it's enough historical background on how we first came into it, or, how, our stepping ground was when we first got in.
And we're talking about this from the Black perspective, right? So, but it's Black, Indigenous, and all peoples of color. So that includes Latino and what have you. So it really is. There's a lot of beautiful culture that just comes in and seasons the community to a beautiful taste, in my mind, at least.
And they all have somewhere where they started, and not everyone's starting point is like documented, Yeah,
and a different journey. Everybody comes from their own journey. All right, so let's give it another spin.
Hard truth.
Hard truth. All right. So I want you to say something about the community. It needs to be said, even if it makes people uncomfortable.
Don't get offended if people are not, let's see, how do I say this? Don't get offended if people are not willing to see you how you see you. If you identify a certain way and someone might not fully understand it, don't be offended. Don't take it personal. Like I said before, not everyone's going to be as kind to you as you might want them to be. So if you step in a room and you're dressed a certain way and people don't address you how you want to be addressed, don't take it personal. Keep doing what you want to do and ignore it, because you are not going to make that person Yeah, brush it off. You're
Brush
not going to make that person call you or address you how you want to be addressed, because sometimes people just see things one-sided,
You're so right. You're so right. All right. So don't take things too personally. I like it. All right. Let's spin it again. Nick, you're going to take this next one. Behind the mic.
Behind the mic.
Okay.
All right, behind the mic. What's one moment on your podcast that impacted the way you view our community, good or bad? Like it totally just like changed. Like my viewpoint on the community has changed a lot since I started. So just to give you an example.
Uh-huh. I thought you were going to give me an example. Could you give me an example? Yeah, give me an example.
Like there's technical aspects, then there's financial aspects, the dealings of looking at of dealing with people of who not to talk to, references, the importance of references. There's a million and one little lessons you can learn, and it's all through the stories that we hear from other people. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Yeah. Not letting my information out certain, to people, not letting too much information, not talking to certain people, money, not, not going to places because I got a heads up from somebody, about it. Things like that, references specifically changed my life, all on the show of who not to go to, who to go to, what I should do next. How is your show? How is the show change that?
I don't know. I guess the way that people, I really don't know, because I can't really answer that question.
I'll give you a hardcore example.
Okay.
Rest in peace to Kate West. Kate West was a dominatrix who was on the show. Rest in peace. There's no one like Kate West, and there will never be someone like her again. Her death has sent a ripple effect. It's changed my life. It's changed many people's lives on this show. I connected Kate West to many people via Your Kinky Friends. You know what I mean? I feel very proud of that. We gave her a voice, microphone, an outlet, a platform. You know what I mean? That forever has changed my life. It's changed how I view kink, how I deal with people. I learned from her. So she didn't always deal with people the right way.
Yeah.
Take that a lesson. You know what I mean? It's a very, very complicated human being. And it taught me that we're all very, very complicated human beings. And we all deal with
that is true.
Our own way. You never know what someone is going through. You never know what someone's going through. That's why I talk a lot. Because I listen a lot. It goes both ways. So
I forgot what the question. What was it again?
The question was, is there a moment on the podcast? And for example, my moment was meeting Kate West on my show and starting a whole other show with her. I started a show called Sunday Service with her, Nico Noir. That was all done on my show. Like the idea was done on my show. The whole concept was done on my show. The execution was done on my show. Is there that's an example. So is there a moment on your podcast so far that it's impacted the way you view our community in a good or a bad way?
Okay, yeah. In a good way. There was a moment. I started a segment where I interview people who create kink, fetish, BDSM gear and stuff, and toys and all that good stuff. I had an interview where I was talking to someone and they were just talking about how they make things at home. And it made me realize that a lot of people are out there building things because maybe stuff might be too expensive, or maybe people are out there, creating their own brands. That just from talking to people on the show made me want to meet other people who are, into, expanding their business or their brands, So that's something that, I did, that, taught me something on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of creative kinksters doing their thing, and you get to meet so many of them, especially when you do, like when you're in the public eye like this, because you're looking for unique things. You're looking for stuff to bring on your show and to bring to the the greater masses and share it because you're inspired by it. You want to inspire other people with it. So yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're spinning again. Let's see. We're landing on prove it.
Okay.
All right. So what do I mean by prove it? So prove it means the prompt is, what is one thing that somebody needs to demonstrate consistently before they can be taken seriously in a power exchange? I liked that question.
I guess trust. You gotta show that you can be trusted, because not I mean, some people, to me, trust is earned. Sometimes you can't just like be like, oh yeah, they look like a trustworthy person. You have to, be able to show that, people can trust you. Yeah. Trust.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, take the next one. We'll give him one more spin.
Nicely.
Yeah. One more. Earn. Okay.
Respect. Like Gangstar says, it's hard to earn. So what is something newbies in the communities want access to but have to earn first? In the level specifically.
I guess I don't want to say earn, but you have to kind of earn your place in society. Like I know when I first came in, I just thought, okay, well, I'm new and everybody's just going to want to get to know me. People don't always feel that way. You got to kind of earn it sometimes, like you have to earn your way in,
And I think it all comes down to what you said, respect.
Yeah.
You have to, give respect to get respect. And, it's a cycle, basically.
Yeah. The cycle of life.
Yeah, you're right. All right, I want to stroll through the chat a little bit more here because we've got some other stuff, some other stuff popping off. People are very chatty tonight. I love it.
Nice.
All right. Stan. All right. So if you're into reading kinky stories, I highly recommend the comic book Sunstone. Two women deal with modern themes of sex, relationships, and fetishism in this erotic romantic comedy.
Okay.
All right. Nice recommendation, Stan.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Sunshine. You want to read what Sunshine wrote?
Yes. Sunshine says, when I entered the community, I honestly didn't expect to genuinely like and develop good relationships with as many people as I have. It is beautiful. Seeing this character arc, we're writing a book about it. Seriously, we are writing a book about it. It's the most romantic. It's the most romantic. It's booky, filthy.
I love it. She says we need kinky connections. We do.
Yeah, totally. And just this whole thing, I love it's the character arc and seeing people come alive, people doing their thing. That's why, oh my God, every time I see you in my feed, LadyRed, it's inspiring. It truly is. It really is. I love it because I see what you're doing. I see, and yeah, it's awesome.
Well, thank you. I started. I'm not saying I started losing motivation, but it's like when you first start a podcast and you kind of get stuck at numbers, or that's not. At first, that's what I was wanting to try to build subscribers and stuff. But now it's just making sure I push the information out there, and the people will come. They'll see it somewhere. They'll tune in. I can't lose motivation, and that, just got to keep going. So I appreciate you saying that, Nick.
And there's also a bigger cause. Like all three of us, we all have our own shows, and we all are doing something for the community. This is a cool. This is a cool moment that just happened. Think about it, and it's let's just recognize that we're doing it for the greater good of the community, which more people need to do. So cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Yeah, I love that. Cheers to that. And part of doing this, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Nick, you feel the same way. I know we've talked about it. And LadyRed, doing this podcast fills my proverbial cup with just goodness.
Yeah.
I love it. Talking to people, meeting people, finding out more about them, finding out more about you tonight on the show has been absolutely lovely, LadyRed, really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
LadyRed. You're amazing, and I highly suggest everybody listen to her show, Interview. And
and it's IMK with LadyRed for short, or Interview My Kink with LadyRed. So
it's everywhere, and you can see it on YouTube as well, right? Yeah, please check it out. Please.
What's next on your agenda? Where can we expect to see you next? Where are you going to pop up?
Well, I will be going to a conference in Atlanta called Self. It's a leather fest. I'll be attending a few online events. None that I really am pushing. Of course, I'm just basically just doing volunteer work. So you might see me helping out at an event because I love volunteering as well. That's another way I meet people and, help support the community, so yeah.
I love that. You're all about support. How can we support you besides subscribing to your podcast? Any other way, any other things we should do to enjoy it?
Well, I have a Patreon. If you want to join my family on Patreon, if you have any suggestions about people you want me to interview, about anything you want to talk about, you can message me on FetLife. You can message me and we can talk about things you want to discuss. Support me by helping me provide information to other people who might have questions about stuff, So
Sure.
yeah, it might not just be about the podcast. It might just be, you might just want to see somebody sit down and just talk about topics that aren't talked about. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And Nick, in addition to listening to the YKF Your Kinky Friends podcast on Spotify,
Please subscribe.
How else? Yeah, please subscribe to that. It's a good podcast. You have some really awesome people that you interview for sure. How else can we support you?
Cash App, please. Every show literally could be the last. We need money. We need mics. We need production value. StreamYard costs money. Everything costs money. So yeah, please support me at capital YKF lowercase Tanek. Capital YKF lowercase Tanek. That's the best, quickest way. Any ideas? I am a very, very creative person. I'm writing books. I have 3 books already. But we're working on a lot of things. And shout out to everybody involved in the Cock and Ball Torture show that I'm going to have on this Friday at Mischief Manor live. Yes, we're doing a live. Who knows? Maybe
it's gonna be fun.
Maybe not. I don't know. You never know. Also, Nico Noir and I we're in talks about Sunday service, a special Kate West tribute. So if anyone is interested in it, if anybody has any stories, anything to contribute, any ideas, suggestions, if you don't think we should do it, I want to hear you too. So please reach out to me. YourKinkyFriends.com, Nick Tanek. I'm all over the internet. I'm on X. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Yeah.
And as far as supporting the Growl, I mean, I've got a Cash App for the show. He, as Nick said, things are expensive. StreamYard, it costs money to do this. Costs money. It's energy. So you can support the Growl. $, the Growl Pod. The Growl Pod, all one word, Cash App. And please, most importantly, like and subscribe to us. If you like what we're talking about, you like what we're doing, share it with your friends, hit the notification bell, and I promise it comes up on my phone. Yeah, you'll know always what we're doing, where we're at, and some of the things that we're talking about. So, LadyRed, thank you so much for coming on the show. You have been absolutely lovely. We've had an amazing show. And I can't wait to continue listening to your podcast because it is definitely a good one. And in the show notes, everybody, I've got LadyRed's links. I've got I'll have Nick's links, and this show will be up for a few more hours. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. You can watch us live every Monday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And please, if you have suggestions, shoot me a message, drop it in the comments. If you have thoughts about the topics that we're talking about, it helps to boost the algorithm. Chat about it. I will respond to every single comment that gets put on every single episode. So thank you, Growl Pod audience. We appreciate you. We love spending time with you. And we will see you next week on The Growl.
Bye.
You can rub a caged sissy's clit for luck.